Alright, so I know you saw the thumbnail and you clicked on it and you're like, what is she talking about? Is she crazy? What does she mean? Like, is she for real? Is this a clickbait? I promise you it's neither of those. Just let me explain. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, if today's your first day, my name is Andy. I am a family nurse practitioner, and no, the thumbnail is not lying. I'm really serious. I'm going to tell you guys about why I said what I said, because I said what I said, okay? And this is why. Hear me out. When I first wanted to be a nurse practitioner, I have to be very, very sincere and honest. I did not do much research about it. I knew that I loved being nursing. I had been in nursing for over 10 years. I started as a nursing assistant to becoming a licensed practical nurse, an LPN, and to become a registered nurse. And so when the topic of nurse practitioner came up, it wasn't like something that I really needed to think about, which I should have. I should have done my research, but I did not. One of my friends, we had just finished our RN, and she called me up and she was like, hey, Andy, I'm going to nurse practitioner. Can you come? Let's do it together. And I was like, I don't know about that. I just finished school. Just let me breathe for a second. So I did wait for a year, and before I went into doing nurse practitioner. The only thing I did was I knew I wanted to do family nurse practitioner, because I knew that I wanted my options to be broader. Like if I wanted to do peds, which I did not like peds, I don't know why I was thinking about that. If I wanted to do outpatient, if I wanted to work in a nursing home, I had been a nursing home girl for a long time before I went into the hospital setting. So I knew that acute nurse practitioner wasn't my thing because I'm not an emergency room person. I'm not an ICU person. So I knew for a fact that I didn't want to do that. But other than that, I did not put much work into it. So I went in, I started, my nurse practitioner program. I went into school, I applied, did the interview over the phone, got in and started. The reason why I'm saying we shouldn't do it is number one, you're gonna have a hard time finding a job. I remember when I was in school, my husband kept telling me, Andy, you do know that it's harder to find a job as a nurse practitioner. I was like, dude, what are you talking about? I don't think so. Hey, it is not my portion. It's not my portion. It is not my portion. I will get my job like boom, boom, boom. You know, we as Christians, we do that a lot, even though God has told you to put in work, because faith without work is dead. But we always believe that God will come down and do the work for us. My friend, it was hard to find a job. It was hard for me. And I'm going to tell you, it was heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak. Um, it was no. I must have applied to like over 100. Okay, I stopped counting. Over 100 different types of jobs. It took me 6 months to find a job. In that, my first job was in urgent care, and I wasn't getting trained. I went in and they were like, oh, you're gonna start. I'm like, no, I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel like I'm ready. I want to be trained. I was going to be trained for 3 days. I was like, no, 3 days is not enough. And that was it. They were like, okay, 3 days is not enough. Then I'm sorry. Then we cut ties. And that was it. My first job at an urgent care. That was how I went my way. They went their way because they wanted to train me for 3 days only as a brand new nurse practitioner. 8 months later, I found my other job. It was in a pediatric clinic. I and another nurse practitioner was hired at the same time. She was a pediatric nurse practitioner. I was a family nurse practitioner, and we were both hired into a pediatric outpatient clinic. So, and she had more, of course, she concentrated in pediatrics. I did family. We were both told that we were going to be trained for 6 weeks, and then we were going to go on and, start working after 6 weeks. That was a lie. And our training was like, oh, I'm going to be here. You go see the patient. If you have any questions, let me know. Honestly, that was our training. I would say that I really, really found a good job, my true job, a year after graduating. A year. It took me a year to find a good job. I still know people till today that I graduated with that still haven't found a job as a nurse practitioner. Someone I met while I was still in my clinical, she had finished her nurse practitioner for like 2 years, like 2 years prior, and she couldn't find a job. And this is things that I found out later. Like I said, I wish I knew. I wish I did my research. The second reason is you're not going to make that much money, honestly, unless you're a traveling nurse practitioner, which most people do. They want you to have an experience first, but how are you going to have experience if nobody want to hire you? Okay, and most RNs will make more money than you because as a registered nurse on the floor, you are able to pick up time. Nurse practitioner is a salaried position. Okay, they give you a flat amount of money. You stay, you take work home. You work long hours. You work from home. You work in your house. You stay out over after work, and you don't get a dime added to your pay, whether you leave on time or you don't. And that is a rule that I keep. I do not check my messages on weekends. I don't care. I'm just not going to do it because I'm not going to be paid for that. Okay, I had a patient that was really upset with me because I did not check my portal messages over the weekend. I was very forward. Like I was like, girl, I'm not going to check my messages over the weekend. Oh, but my previous doctor used to. I'm sorry, I'm not your previous doctor. I'm not going to do it. Not because I'm mean, but because I have my own life. I have my children that I have to take care of. When I leave work, I leave work. I do not bring my job home, and that's just that. I'm not bringing stress from work to my house. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that. I'm not one of those providers. And I work with a lot of people that do work from home. They respond to their messages on their phone. They check their emails. I mean, that's just them. It's just not me. So you're not going to make much money, and all you're going to do is rack up more loans. Okay. If you're lucky, you'll find a job that is like at an FQHC that can help you pay your loans. Other than that, you get more loans and not much money. So the third thing is you really, really need to build your background as a registered nurse. My first job in a pediatric clinic, I felt very dumb. Okay, so I'll go in, see the patients, and then I'll come back and ask questions. And when you ask questions, it's like you're back in school. So okay, so what do you think? What are your differential diagnoses? Which I have to say it helped me if the attitude was right, but the attitude wasn't right too, because the person clearly would make you feel little, belittle you, make you feel dumb. When I transitioned into my current job, I was so lucky to find a boss that was really nice. Like, I don't care if it's the dumbest question you think it is in the planet, he will answer you with respect, and he will always say, "Oh, no, 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 it's fine." You can call him at any time during your work. He's the one that taught me how to do it in churches. I learned a lot of things from that man, and God will bless that man wherever he goes. And that has taught me to be the kind of provider that I am. I don't care if someone has 20 years of experience. If they come in, they ask me questions, I'm going to answer them with respect, and I'm going to help as much as I can because someone helped me. So getting a good experience, a good training is another thing. When you even eventually find the job, it's difficult to find someone that will really train you. And I'm saying this because it's not only my experience, I've also heard this from so many other people. I know someone that was basically dumped in an office and left for her own defense. Like, she basically had to help herself. So it's crap. To find a job, it's hard to find a job, and when you find a job, it's hard to find somebody to help you. You have to buy a bunch of books, you have to download a bunch of apps to kind of help you. You have to watch a lot of videos. You have to go back to your books. I had my books, I had a binder that I made, and up till now, I still go back to reference that binder. I'm not saying this because I am crazy. I'm saying this to help someone. At the end of the day, you're going to do what you love. Do what makes you happy. Don't go by what I say. Do your research. That was my fault. I did not do my research. That is something that I should have done. Do I love my job currently? Oh, absolutely, 100%. I love my job. Do I have stressful days? Yes. I'm currently in primary care, and you're expected to see 24 patients a day, which is absolutely ridiculous. But I've gotten used to it. I think the maximum I've seen, the highest I've seen is 20. Thank God for no shows. I love my job. I love my patients. I'm glad that I eventually found a job that I love, a job that is really good, that is helping, that sends you for training, that pays for your training, that does a lot, gives you admin time. I know people that don't have admin time. We have admin time 8 hours a week. But the thing is, finding that job. If nurse practitioner is something that you really, really, really want to do, you're passionate about it, then go ahead. Because you know what, no matter what happens, you will be able to withstand it. You will be able, because you're passionate about it, you'll be patient to find the job, to tolerate the nonsense you'll find along the way. I wasn't, when I was looking for a job, I wasn't patient because I didn't know that that was what I was going to face. I thought I would become a nurse practitioner, I'll find a job. Finding a job as a registered nurse, but no, that wasn't the case. This is what I'll say. At the end of the day, you're gonna do what you want to do. You're gonna do what you love. You're gonna do what you want to do, not what I say you should do. Okay. So what I would tell you to do is do your research. Just know that doing nurse practitioner, you may never find a job. You're gonna gain more debts. Okay. You're gonna have more financial responsibility. So make sure your family is set. Make sure you put things in place for you to go back. Okay. You're not gonna make that much money. Those are my thoughts. Now you do you. All right, thank you so much for watching the video. If you like this video, don't forget to share. Don't forget to like, subscribe, join the team. We talk about healthy living. We talk about nurse practitioner. We educate over here. We talk about travels, healthy lifestyle. Until my next video, I love you with the love of